ANA is Japan's top airline and is one of the best ways to fly across the Pacific, but it's expensive. Flying from West Coast USA to Tokyo will cost around $1,900 round trip in economy and a little under $5,000 one way in business class, which is a ridiculous amount of money. So in this video, I'll give you 2 ways to book ANA flights for as little as 45,000 points one way in business class. Welcome to booking ANA business class to Japan with Mark. Within the points and miles realm, it's well known that ANA is one of the best airlines in the world and has received rave reviews from essentially all the major travel blog sites for its incredible business class products. Now, most people think the hardest part of award travel is earning the credit card points that you need in order to book these award seats. But the actual hardest part of award travel is finding availability on these award seats. So let's start with our overall strategy on when we should start searching. The best time to search for award availability is either going to be 1 year out from your departure date or 14 days out from your departure date. And with ANA, it's extremely difficult to book 1 year out because those seats are booked extremely quickly. I'm talking within minutes or seconds of them being released. So in this guide, we'll be focusing on finding availability 14 days from departure because that's going to be your best bet to booking ANA award seats, whether you're traveling with a partner or if you're traveling with family and friends. Starting off with our first airline, you're probably thinking, Mark, this doesn't even need to be a video. You're going to tell us to transfer our points to ANA and then book through there and we're done, right? Not quite. ANA's own award program is actually one of the most difficult award programs to use, primarily because you have to book a round trip flight if you're going to be using points and miles. So it's hard enough to find award availability for one-way flights. It's near impossible to find round trip availability most of the time. The truth is, there's a lot of reasons why even the points and miles pros avoid ANA's award program. So instead, we'll rely on other airlines within the Star Alliance to find award availability on ANA flights. The first airline and our way to book ANA business class seats is going to be through United. Both ANA and United are part of the Star Alliance, which means that they share award seats with each other, so you can book through United in order to fly on an ANA flight. Our first step is to pick a route that has a non-stop flight between the US and the 2 major airports within Tokyo, which is going to be Haneda and Narita. On the West Coast, we can fly out of Seattle, San Francisco, and LA. From Central US, we can fly out of Chicago or Houston. And from the East Coast, we have New York and Washington, D.C. Heading over to United's site, let's assume that SFO is our home airport. We'll click One Way, Book with Miles, Flexible Dates, type in SFO to Narita, click the month we're in since we're looking for 14-day availability, number of travelers, business, and find flights. Once the award calendar appears, we'll filter for non-stop flights. Our goal is to find these green boxes that show 100,000 points prices, as they'll be most likely to have ANA availability. Clicking in and scrolling down, as we can see, we can book ANA flights for 110,000 points and $6 in taxes and fees, which is a great deal. Make sure to also confirm that the fare class for this ANA seat is fare class I, as that'll be important later on in the video. Checking if this is worth booking with points, the typical cash price of this flight from SFO to Narita is just under $5,000. So by redeeming with 110,000 United miles, we're getting 4.5 cents per point, which means this is a great redemption when you consider the baseline is 1 cent per point for redeem. And before we continue to our second booking method, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button down below if you're enjoying this content, and thanks so much for the support. Now, the 110,000 points needed to book through United is a great deal, but the truth is, it's still a lot of points. The good news is the second airline we're using today can book these ANA flights for significantly less points. The second airline, and maybe the best way to book ANA award seats, is going to be Virgin Atlantic. An important thing to note is even though ANA and Virgin Atlantic aren't part of the same airline alliance, they've established a separate partnership which allows you to book ANA business class seats through Virgin. This award chart shows round-trip pricing for ANA flights to different destinations. So West Coast US to Japan costs only 45,000 points one way, and Central or East Coast to Japan costs 47.5 thousand points one way. which means you're paying less than half the points cost that you would on United. If you book through United, the taxes and fees are only going to be about $6, but booking through Virgin, taxes and fees will be anywhere from $200 to $300 depending on which part of the US you're flying out from. So ultimately, it's up to you to decide if the 65,000 points that you would save booking through Virgin instead of United is going to be worth it. I personally value my credit card points at 2 cents per point because I always transfer them over to airline transfer partners in order to book flights. What this means is that 65,000 points is worth $1,300 to me, so it's a no-brainer in this case that we should be booking through Virgin instead of booking through United. You have way more flexibility in the points that you can earn compared to United, where you need specifically either Chase points or Bilt points to then transfer over. To book ANA flights on Virgin, you'll first want to follow the steps we did at the beginning of the video, searching for award availability through United's website. If you found a seat that has business class fare I, then that means you should be able to book this same seat through Virgin Atlantic. A very important note here, you can't book ANA business class flights on Virgin's website or mobile app. You actually have to call in order to make the booking. A mistake most people make is trying to find award availability on ANA through Virgin's website, which you won't be able to do. So that's why we're using United's website to find the availability, confirming its business class fare I, and then calling Virgin Atlantic to book the flight through Virgin. Another important tip is you can actually ask Virgin Atlantic to reserve and hold the award seat for you for up to 24 hours. And if you thought booking through United was worth it, by booking through Virgin Atlantic, we're earning 10.3 cents per point on this redemption, which is an out of this world redemption value. Now there are two main business class products that ANA flies today. The older version, which you can see here, is an incredible business class for the number of years that it's been in service. And then you have ANA's newer business class called the Room, which is argued as the best business class in the world, on par and competing with the likes of Qatar Q Suites. To book ANA's The Room, here's a list of the specific routes that fly that product today. But before making any booking, the important thing is to confirm that it's actually The Room before transferring any of your points over to make that booking. The best way to do this is to head over to ANA's site directly, plug in the exact details, and look for the flight number that you're trying to book. If it's The Room, there will be a specific tag that tells you, which confirms you're flying those. Now, ANA might be the top airline to fly to Japan, but there are other great products you can fly as well through either Japan Airlines or United Airlines directly. Luckily, I've created a separate booking guide that you can click right up here that shows you step-by-step how to book Japan Airlines or United Airlines on your trip to Japan. So thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in that video.